Hey, what's going on to all of my Taurus out there? So let's get into this, right? Let's get into this. So for you, Taurus, you have the Magician. Oh wow, the Page of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Five of Cups, Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, Three of Pentacles, the Queen of Fortune. Excuse me, Queen of Fortune, Wheel of Fortune, right? Then you have the Hierophant, and then you have the Five of Wands. So what I'm seeing here for you, Taurus, is the Hierophant does represent the Taurus anyway. It represents Taurus influence, Taurus energy. So you ultimately did show up in your own reading. Now, what I'm seeing here for you, Taurus, is the Magician, the Page of Wands, the Ace of Wands, Five of Cups. Ooh, a lot of you, Taurus, have been. Ooh, a lot of you, Taurus, have been put on. A lot of you Taurus are a lot more self-aware of how things happen as far as the dating pool. A lot of you Taurus are now more aware of what goes on, and a lot of you Taurus, you know how to operate now. Ooh, somebody must have put you on. Somebody must have put you on. Oh, by the way, to the Taurus out there, one of my subscribers actually sent me some mail, right? I use it. Check it out. Smells great, by the way. Feels great. Helps me out. Really appreciate it. Helps out with pain, all of that stuff. Really appreciate it. You know who you are, Taurus. You know who you are. I'm not even going to say the name, but you know who you are. Really appreciate it. Like I said, I have some of the best subscribers in the world. Y'all are the ones that support me, and I really appreciate it, no doubt. For the magicians and the because the magician represents a lot more knowledge, a lot more understanding of who you are. The magician is a person that has taken responsibility for their own existence, and they understand what time it is, right? A magician is one step down from the fool. So a magician represents a person who is standing in between the worlds. So there's a mystical element to this person. And that's you, Taurus, in this reading. You, Taurus, have been put on to how people move in the dating pool, and your whole perception is changed. So a lot of you, Taurus, now know how to move. A lot of you, Taurus, know this, and this is how it is that you're supposed to be moving. So, or I should say, it's a very good idea. I'm not going to say supposed to be, I'll say a very good idea. Because once you get to a certain perspective, it's really more about creativity. But the Page of Wands and the Ace of Wands represents, and because of that newfound perception, you're able to interact with people where Page of Cups and the Four of Pentacles represents, a lot of you Taurus know what's up. And you Taurus know that when you have people who are very caught up with their egocentric, very caught up with their ego, right? Downright disrespectful, right? And competitive, right? In the wrong way with a lot of you Taurus. A lot of you Taurus already know exactly where it is that it's coming from. You Taurus already know that what these people got going on is they are in a situation where they are they are they're disrespectful because they're trying to hide something. And when people come at you, you already know who's wasting your time, who's not, what it is that they're trying to hide, right? What it is that you Taurus know is that when people come at you like this, there's really nothing that's going to be coming out of this situation where you actually get to know them. There's no real relationship that's coming from this, that's springing forth from this. Nope. A lot of you Taurus already know what's coming after this. This person is going to be wasting your time by being disrespectful. This person is going to be wasting your time by trying to get you on your nerves, stalling. They don't ever want to get to the point. Nothing really ever happens. The Nine of Cups represents this being a situation for you where, so what does this mean? Well, what this means is this being a situation for you where the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Cups and the Three of Pentacles is you having to understand that what you've got going on is, to just be real, what you've got going on is you've got a whole new sense of power and a whole new sense of foundation, right? The Nine of Cups represents confidence. It represents a person who is much more secure and stable with themselves, right? A lot of times, one of the things that make Taurus kind of unstable sometimes is the lack of their own internal stability, and which we all suffer from sometimes, right? But with Taurus, though, Taurus thinks that if a lot of you Taurus think that if you don't do what a routine says to do, or the routine that you've created for yourself, then somehow it means that this is a situation for you where it's really not going to, the day is not going to go well. You're not going to have a good day unless you actually do what this routine says, or what this routine calls for you to do. So the situation with that is the Three of Pentacles is about you, Taurus, now understanding that it goes deeper than that, and that you don't always have to have some sort of routine every single day, do the same exact thing, because now the value is broken away, or it's now separate from just needing to have a routine. A lot of you Taurus already, now you're beginning to understand it, that it's more profound than that. It goes deeper than the routine. You don't have to have a routine in order for you to have a level of a sense of self-worth. You can break away from the routine sometimes. You know, you could break away from the fundamentals sometimes in order for you to be a lot more playful with how it is that you get to know people. And that, right? Like you don't like, how do I say this? Like the Wheel of Fortune, you're starting to understand that you don't have to do the things that what society wants you to do, right? What a lot of people online that create society is what creates the dating pool, right? Because the internet is more important than what you think, because a lot of people listening to it and they actually coming out here into the physical world, interacting with people the way that they do on the internet, right? Which is from the perspective of, you need to either be muscled up, you need to be over 6 feet and change, you need to, you need to be a boss. You need to be fly. You need to be the cutest individual in the world. You need to have a big waist, all that type of stuff. When for you, Taurus, you're starting to break away from this, and you're starting to understand that you can break away from what people claim to be is popular, because like I said before, you're starting to understand how whack that is, right? That's a dub. you know you're starting to understand that this is not necessarily the best thing in the world to do, because it's becoming a lot more corny at the fact that you get a lot of the people looking the same. Every individual got to be jacked. Every individual got to be super 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 tall, and that's starting to become whack, because I'm 5'7". How many, you know what I mean? I'm 5'7". Mike Tyson is 5'10". Conor McGregor is 5'9". Floyd Mayweather is 5'9". You feel what I'm saying? Some of the best, richest people in the world are not even 6 feet and above. They're not. Napoleon Bonaparte was 5'7". So was Toussaint Louverture, 5'7". Like, so with that being said, that's very empowering, because you're able to really wake up and realize a lot of this stuff is really cap. A lot of this stuff is really dysfunction, and people creating these narratives that they themselves are not even equipped to really deal with, because a lot of people talking about this $100,000 stuff. Do people even know what $100,000 even look like up close in a lump sum? Do people even know what $100,000 looks like in a lump sum? I don't even think people really do. You know, I really don't think people really do. And then at the end of the financial year, you're not gonna walk away with $100,000, because between the city expenses, the federal taxes, the city taxes that get taken off of your paycheck, right? Fire department, police department, city hall, federal taxes, right? For the federal government. And I hope YouTube don't hit me for this, but the federal taxes that people get taken off of their paycheck, your own living expenses, right? And then at the end of the year, you get taxed again due to the end of the financial year. We all got to go see the tax person. So it's like, more than likely, if you're working for $100,000, unless you're doing something extra to actually be able to compensate for that, people are not walking away with $100,000. They're probably walking away with 75, 65, potentially even 50. Maybe even less, depending on what happens. And a lot of you, like I said, the Hierophant and the Five of Wands represent. So this creates a whole new level of understanding and a whole new level. It's my dog. A whole new level of discipline, because now a lot of you Taurus understand the reality of what's really going on. And the Five of Wands is that when you interact with others, you now know what the big fuss is about. You now know what a lot of people in the in society keep talking about, with all this $100,000 and six figures, you know all of these things that don't even, like, a lot of times people don't even know that a private jet starts at roughly a private jet starts at around $10,000, $15,000. You really want to start getting comfortable, right? You really want to, and I'm just using this as an example. Let's clarify the Hierophant. If you really want to start getting comfortable, right, where you actually have space, because there's different jets of different sizes. A jet could go ahead, because I've flown in a private jet before. A private jet is really small in certain sizes, in certain cases. Like, a private jet use could be so cramped to the point where you don't really have a whole lot of space. Like, your arm rest could be right here, and the way that the private jet is, it could curve to where you don't even have a whole lot of space to even stand up straight. You could be in a situation where you have to hunch down. That's how crammed the private jet is. That type of private jet that I rode in, that probably cost me that probably cost me that probably cost not cost me, excuse me, that's a lie. That probably cost the person um who did the whole private jet thing, because it wasn't my jet. I didn't pay for it. Probably cost them 20,000, 25,000 to be able to really start becoming um really respectful when it comes to the whole private jet scene. That's 80,000. So, to and fro. So that's 160. So, like I said, let's clarify the Hierophant. So a lot of you Taurus are starting to understand the hoopla and, like, how much cap it is. So you have the Empress, the Page of Wands, the Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. So this is about how a lot of you Taurus understand that it's time to, like, let go of relationships with people who is too caught up in the la la land, because they're too delusional, because they're caught up with what other people think that they should be. You know what I mean? And they're too influenced by what other people think that they should be. You understand? So the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Cups is, so when people are being delusional and they're not really doing anything, and you know they're being just dysfunctional, and they wilding out, they doing this, and they doing all that. The Seven of Cups, a lot of you Taurus already know what time it is, and then you Taurus are not going for that anymore, because y'all been put on. A lot of y'all been learning game over here, and not over here, not just over here, but a lot of y'all have probably been seeing what it is I'm talking about in real life, and probably been putting one and one together to make two. A lot of you Taurus can figure a lot of things out on your own. A lot of you Taurus are smart. So as a result of this, that's the situation that we have at hand. So there's a whole, the point is that a lot of you Taurus realize that there's a whole lot of people out here who are capping. There's a whole lot of people out here who really fake flossing, and they really don't have a whole lot. And they really need to understand that, a lot of these YouTube videos and stuff like this is what society is. It's a reflection of what society is, and how society, people as a whole, as far as making up society, aren't really ready to be in a relationship yet, because they keep putting up some sort of importance on this money and all this other type of stuff. Character and love is enough. So that's it. Comment on the video. That's the video. I'm done. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Please, the link to my private services are in the comment section. I am available today. Come through and get a personal reading if this reading resonated with you. The link to my books on Amazon are also in the comment section, as well as the link to my Instagram page is in the comment section below. Peace.